is a time of a lot of change. It is likely that your parents won't be there to tell you what to do or make your agenda for you. In fact, they may have little influence over you at all starting the next few months. This applies to faith as well. After graduation, you will either get stronger in your faith or weaker. Maybe you will desert it altogether. Your parents are not going to be there to make you go to church, initiate prayers, or make sure you're reading the Bible. This isn't the most important part of your faith, but these are all supplements to help it grow. All of your decisions are, for the most part, up to you. That is why it is important to figure out what is important to you and why it's important. It's important to ask hard questions. Is what you believe or don't believe worth sticking to? There's a chance that you will never take part in these Christian activities ever again. Or maybe your faith will flourish and produce more fruit than it ever has before. I'm here to tell you what I think is important and why. Why I'm sticking to my faith and why it's going to be the most important thing for me in college. And I'm here to challenge you to think as well. What are you living for and why are you living? I've grown up in a household that's always encouraged my faith, but never forced it upon me. I actually became a follower of Jesus at the end of second grade, and from then until now, there's been the ups and downs of growth that has not been at all linear. My story of coming to faith is not all that very exciting, but that doesn't mean I haven't questioned my decision or thought long and hard about it. I often ask myself, why is faith important to me? My initial response is, well, I don't know, because it's uncomfortable to question things that you've believed for so long. But if I didn't have an answer, that would probably mean I should figure out something other than this whole Jesus thing. But then I sat in silence for a few minutes and just pondered, which is something I didn't learn how to do until high school. If I didn't have faith, what would I live for? Just for the sake of living? That sounds kind of fun, but awfully meaningless. I know everything is temporary. High school is temporary. I bet sitting here today didn't even cross your minds 4 years ago. And here you are, moving on to the next thing. Not to be blunt, but soon there will be no more things. Well, on earth that is. So however important anything worldly can be, it's not going to last. If you know something will be taken away, why is it worth investing in? Maybe it's nice to invest in the moment or in the short term, but is it really going to be all your life is? Just think about that. That's the reason why my faith is so important. This is huge, but you might hear this a lot. This concept of eternity may not be something you can or wish to grasp. So let me just say this that will give your faith some more meaning. You know those cutesy little signs, and don't take offense to this, I love these and I have these in my house too, but that have like Philippians 4:13 on them and says like, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. That verse is great, don't get me wrong, it's straight from the Bible, but the context surrounding it implies that it means being content through Jesus. God does not just exist to give us the easy pass through life. Why is it worth it? Faith can often be seen as winning or losing. My life is horrible, so I'm losing, or my life is great, so I'm winning. No, in fact, faith is the furthest from either of those. Faith is knowing that there is no win or lose, and even if there is, it doesn't matter. This sounds ridiculous, but there's more to life than life. That's why faith is worth it. God is not going to make your life easier, but I would trade an easy life for a life with a purpose in a heartbeat. Is your faith important? If not, what are you living for then? Let me leave you with a verse. We exhorted each one of you and encourage you and charge you to walk in a manner worthy of God who calls you into his own kingdom and glory. 1 Thessalonians 2:12.